What the hell's going on? Excuse me. Good morning. This is the VirtualPBX dash admin training. I apologize for delay here, having some slight issues connecting. Good morning. This training will last about 30 to 45 minutes, mostly depending on load times. This training will focus on telling you where things are and where to find things. In the show notes, there'll be several links there that you can use. The most important of which is the support link, which is support.virtualpbx.com. And there you can look up the particular feature to get step-by-step instructions on the particular feature. But let's go ahead and get started. To get logged in, you need to go to dash.virtualpbx.com. And then once you're there, we need 3 pieces of information. The first is your username, which is just your email address. That should be in all lowercase letters. Your password, which is case sensitive. And then your account name, which is just your company name. And then you would click on the sign-in bar. If that doesn't work, just above that sign-in bar is a forgot your info link. Click on that. We'll still need your email address, and then we need one of the 2 following pieces of information, either the account name or a phone number. Click on the reset password bar. That will send you an email and a link that will let you change your password. Once you change the password, it's going to log you back out. And then you would come back here, enter in that password. You'll have the option to click on Remember Me, and then click on Sign In. And then once you're signed in, you'll be taken to your dashboard page. Up here at the top is your name, and you can click on that, and a big pop-up shows up. That's where you would change your password, right here. As system admins, over here on the left, you have the account level settings. The main thing that people change here is the time zone and language, and that affects the entire account. System admins can manage add-ons. This increases the feature set on your account. This includes things like text forward, multiple auto attendants, dynamic caller ID, advanced reporting. You can also access the billing portal here. And then you have the access customer portal. That's where you would go to update your payment method, as well as see previous invoices. Any system admin can click on cancel account and click on the red cancel button and fill out the resulting forms. And that will cancel the account at the end of the current billing cycle. Once you're done on this page over here, click on the close box. That takes you back to your dashboard page. To the right of your name at the top, you have the D&D toggle. That stands for Do Not Disturb. Mine is currently active, meaning I am not receiving calls on my user. My calls to me are going to voicemail. If I click it again, it'll be mostly black, and calls would go to me as normal. Little phone icon here opens a new tab, takes you to webphone.virtualpbx.net. If you have a web phone device on your user, you can use your dash login information to log into that page, and allows you to use Chrome, Firefox, or Safari to make and receive calls on your computer. The little speech bubble icon here, this opens a new tab, takes you to virtualtext.app, and that will let you make use of the virtual text feature. So you can send and receive text messages. Question mark icon here, this opens up a chat bubble at the bottom right of your browser window, and this will let you speak to our support team to go through a particular feature. The hamper icon is the menu icon. This gets you to other dash features, which we'll be covering towards the end of this video. And then the right arrow icon is to log out of the page. Down here in the center, we have total users. I have 6 users who make and receive calls. Total devices, I have 15, and a breakdown of the types. The soft phone, web phone, and SIP phone, these are all VoIP phone types. Then I have total phone numbers, 14, and another breakdown here. Assigned numbers, just numbers that you're using. Spare numbers count towards your allotment. You're just not currently using them. USDID is a US local number. US toll-free is an 800 number, 888, all the way down to 833. My main number block, these 3 numbers act the same way. They're going to the same part of my system. They have the same main greeting. Conference number, you can have multiple conference room numbers. They go to the same set of conference rooms. That's the number everyone dials to join the conference, including your staff. The fax box number, you can have one main fax box number, and this is your inbound fax number. The company directory, there's 2 links here. The CSV file is just that. It's a CSV file. Use your favorite spreadsheet program. It's going to list all your users' names, their email addresses, their extension numbers, and their devices. The softphone link is for use with the VirtualPBX desktop softphone application. So if you're using our app, you can download this file and upload it to your VirtualPBX softphone that you're using on a Mac or Windows PC. And in the contact list of the softphone, you'll see your other staff members who have VirtualPBX softphones and the statuses of those VirtualPBX softphones. The VirtualPBX store, this takes you to a new tab, store.virtualpbx.com, where you can order things like a VoIP phone. The account realm, every account has its own account realm. It's used for outbound faxing, which we'll get to later, as well as one of the 3 pieces of information you would need to program a third-party device. Now, up here in the blue bar, we have caller ID. And it'll pop up here. You can select one of your main numbers. This becomes the default number for your account. This is especially important for VoIP phones, as you need this selected so you can make an outbound call on your VoIP phone. And then click on Save Changes. Hold music, this allows you to upload your own file. You can upload a .wav or .mp3 file up to 1 megabyte. Click on the Browse button, click the up arrow, and then Save Changes. The hold music files after a call has reached one of your staff members and they have pressed hold on their VoIP phone. That's when this media file will play. Hours is part of main number, but we won't get to that until after we've gone over users and groups, which we'll go to now. So over here on the left, we'll click on users. Here you see your users on the account. The people with the blue suit icon are your system admins, so they can make all the changes we're talking about. The gray person icon is just a standard user. They have very limited access. Click Add User to create a new user, and you fill out the form. The email address used for login needs to be unique for each user. This is how the system communicates with your staff. Voicemail notifications, password resets. Create a password for them. Enter in a main extension number for them. By default, the system will create a voicemail box for the user. Just saves you a step later on. You have the option to include them in the user directory, which you can change at any time. You can send emails to an alternate address. So if you want those voicemail notifications or password resets to go to an email address other than the one you specified for the login, click on the box here, enter in that different email address in the box provided, and this is something you can change later. And then last option is send credentials to the user, which just means if you check it, when you click at the bottom buttons here, the system will automatically send them an email welcoming them to the Dash account and include their login information. Now, once a user is created, you can click on their name and you can adjust their information, right? You can change their name. This is where you go to change their either email address or password, or you can send them the password reset email. Change PIN is where you would change their voicemail box PIN number. Here's the option to send to an alternate address, and here's the user directory option. Over here, the person icon is where you can change a user into an admin or an admin to a user. The clock icon just lets you change the time zone for this specific user, so their voicemail timestamps are correct. Flag icon is the display language for this user. And then the ringing timeout by default is 20 seconds, which is plenty of time for a call to go to a landline or a VoIP phone. If you have a user that you've only added a cell phone number to, you'd want to increase this to at least 30 seconds. Users can have their own phone numbers. Use that support page link and do a search for adding a phone number or DID phone numbers. You would do so either under add spare numbers or by numbers. Phone numbers on users are available 24/7. They have no hours of operation. They're never closed. Oops. Device box for the user. We recommend adding devices directly to a user just to save you a step. I'm only going to be covering adding of a soft phone here. So under new device, I select a soft phone. Anytime you add a soft phone or web phone, you get this warning message. Please read it at least once. And it's going to default to a third-party soft phone, meaning you're using someone else's soft phone device, which is fine. You just give it a name. You'd copy the SIP username, click on the SIP password, and then copy that. Please do not change it or delete it. And then you'd copy the account realm. Those are the three pieces of information you need to program or provision that third-party soft phone. If you're going to use our soft phone app, down here below where it says View Configuration Guide, it's a toggle. It says Use Third-Party Application. But when you click on it, it now says Use a VirtualPBX application. Give it a name, and then click on Create Device, and then click on Save Changes. Once you click on Save Changes, the user is sent an email saying their VirtualPBX soft phone is ready. In the body of the email are the download links as well as the username and password for the soft phone, which will be different than their Dash login information. For adding other devices, use that support page link. You can add cell phones or landlines. Also in the links, there should be a link for auto provisioning phones, which is for SIP phones. Oops, let's go to this. User features. Caller ID number. This is for users with their own phone number. If you enable this, that means their phone number becomes their outbound caller ID for their VoIP phones. Voicemail boxes. Users have voicemail boxes. Voicemail boxes can hold up to 100 messages. After that, they are full. The system by default automatically sends an email with an MP3 attachment to listen to the message over the phone, or on your computer. You can check messages over the phone as well as through your user portal. Follow Me is for users with multiple devices. So this user has 3 devices. Right now, calls to them are going to ring all 3 devices at the same time. If I don't want that, then I would go to Follow Me. I would click Enable, and I choose which devices to make use of by unchecking under Do Not Ring, and then clicking and dragging the sliders to give them a ring time. I have a total ring time of 120 seconds. I can edit this if I want to. I can click Distribute, so then I equalize my ring time between my 2 devices. I can click and drag and click distribute again to change the order. And then click on save changes. A fax box, this creates a fax box just for this user. This allows them to send and receive faxes. Conference bridge, this allows you to have this user moderate or host a conference. Call forwarding, this allows you to set up call forwarding on the user. The main thing as an admin is if you have a VoIP phone user, you can set up failover mode, which means that the VoIP phone is no longer registered. The system would automatically forward to the number you designate. Otherwise, your users can set up call forwarding themselves. Customize call recording. This allows you to set up call recording for inbound and outbound calls. Music on hold allows you to upload hold music specifically to this user. Do not disturb lets you change a user into do not disturb or out of do not disturb. And then hot desking is a VoIP phone feature which allows users to log into the VoIP phone that they're sitting in. All right, next up is groups, also referred to as hunt groups or ring groups, basically departments. Up here at the top, you would click on add group. You need to give it a name, and then you need to give it an extension number, and then click and drag your staff members that you want to be in the group, and then click on create group. Once a group is created, you can click on the name of the group. So you can change the name, and you can adjust the group call attempts. This is how many times the system will offer an inbound caller to the members of the group. There's little arrows here where you can increase or decrease it. If you make changes, click on save changes. If you wanted to remove the group, that's at the bottom left here. Next up, we have the members box for the group. This shows who you've assigned to the group and how you're offering calls to them. This setup is blast ringing or ring all. So phones will ring at the same time. Whoever picks up first gets the call. You have a little ringing timeout here, you have 120 seconds. And just like under that follow me setting, you can click distribute to equalize out over time. You can also click and drag your staff members to adjust who's first. A couple things to know about groups. Calls from a group that go to a user will ignore the user's follow me setting. Right? So David here had that follow me set up, and all his phones would still ring when he gets calls from the group. The other thing to note is in this kind of staggered setup here, the system always follows this order. So even if Rose here is on a call and a call comes to the group, she's still offered the call first. Even if she's on a call, it does not skip her. Then after 30 seconds, it rolls over to Jeanette. You can add more staff members down here at the bottom. It just adds them into the front, and you can click remove to remove people from a group as well. Just like a user, groups can have their own phone numbers. It's available 24/7. And then group features. Ringback is essentially the whole music file for the group. You would click to enable, upload a .wav or MP3 file. This system does not loop the file for you, so make sure that the play duration of your whole music file matches or exceeds the total ring time you have set up for the group. Next action, if no one picks up, what do you want the system to do with the call? So click up here to enable, and this pull down are things on your system or places on your system. You can send it to a new user, another group, a voicemail box. Those are the most common. Click on save changes. Allow call forward. If you enable this, then your users can make use of call forwarding to forward group calls to like their cell phone number. Caller ID prepend, this is a VoIP phone feature. When you enable it, you can add additional text or numbers that shows up on your staff members' VoIP phone's displays in front of the phone number of the person who's calling in, right? So customer Mary calls in, rings staff member Bob's phone. On his VoIP phone, he would see the word support and then customer Mary's phone number. All right, so after you have users with devices and groups, then it's a good time you can go to main number. Main company numbers, these are just your default numbers that customers dial to. You can add more from here. If you unassign a number from any location, including the main number, that does not delete the number from the account. It just moves it to spare number. Office hours strategy, you can be open 24 hours or to custom office hours. And once you decide to do so, for each day of the week that you're open, put a check mark in front of that day, and then choose your open hours in 24-hour or military time. You can also choose to be closed for lunch every day. Just put a check mark and enter your lunch hours in that same 24-hour time. And then click on Save Changes. Office holidays, if you're closed for holidays, put a check mark here. And then click on Add Holiday and select either single day, date range, or advanced. They all create a new row. And then you would just fill out the form, right? So give it a name, choose the month and the date, save changes, or a start date and an end date. If you need to remove a holiday, just click on the little trash icon and then save changes. Incoming call handling. So how do I want my system to handle my calls during my open hours, during my after hours, or during my holidays? The first option here is going to the virtual receptionist, which is a link. Your menu option, or the main menu, these are what people can press on their phone to navigate through your phone system. You would click on Add Route to give yourself more menu options. The first pull down, you have the default action, 0 through 9, the star key. The second pull down are locations on your system. So the directory, users, groups, voicemail boxes, etc. Your greeting options, this is where you say thank you for calling, and then you want to give instructions, right? Press 1 to get the sales, 2 to support. Text to speech, you just type in a greeting, the system reads it back off. Upload an MP3 or .wav file. Existing recordings, this pull down shows all your media files on the account. You can record it over the phone. The system, by default, when it says pick up a phone register to the account, that means a VoIP phone. If you don't have one available, under settings where it says allow outside recording, turn that on, so then you can call in from any phone. This PIN number is specific to this time of day, so this PIN number only works during my open hours. If I called on Saturday when I'm closed, it would not work. When you call in over the phone, you're recording over the existing main greeting. Professional recording services, when you click order, this takes you to a separate company called Snap Recordings, where you can order professionally done recording. Number of retries on misdials, how many times your inbound caller can make a mistake. So in this case, I have a 1 here, which means they can have 2 total attempts, right? 1 mistake and then 1 retry. Dialing timeout is how much time the system gives the inbound caller to enter additional button or numbers, right? So multi-digit extensions. Allow dialing extensions by default is on, and this just means if the caller enters a valid extension number, the system will transfer the call. If I turn that off, then my inbound caller can only press my menu options. Suppress the playing of invalid entry. So if that inbound caller keeps making a mistake, on that last attempt, the system says we did not recognize your entry. Now, if I have a default action, it then sends transferring my call and transfers that caller to the directory in this case. If I remove that, then on that last attempt, the system says we did not recognize your entry and then says goodbye and then hangs up. So in that instance where you have a default action, you may want to turn that suppression on so it's a little bit less jarring for your inbound caller. So any changes you make on this page, you want to click on Save at the bottom right, and then you want to click Save Changes here, back under Incoming Call Handling. After hours, the second option is a live operator answer option, where the first pull down here is you're selecting something on your system, a user, a group, a device. The call is offered to that, whatever you select first. If they don't pick up, then it goes to your virtual receptionist, where they'll hear a greeting and then given menu options to press. The third option here, you can choose something on your system, user, group, device, etc. And if they don't answer, then it goes to the voicemail box you specify. Main conference number, you can have multiple conference room numbers if you wish. And you can also set up a custom text-to-speech greeting. Just click enable and then type in what you want it to say and click save. Main fax box number, you can only have one. Once you do, you can edit the fax box. Inbound notification email in the box to the right. You just enter in an email address and that address will get sent a message every time a fax comes through and have a PDF attachment. In the email permissions, in the box provided, you can either enter in an email address or you can enter in a company email domain like we've done here. And when you use the company email domain, that means anyone at your company can enter in a fax or send out a fax without being a user on the account. And to do so, they would create an email coming from their work email address. In the to field, they put +1 area code and phone number, no spaces, dashes, or parentheses. And then they put the @ symbol and then the account realm. And then need to attach a PDF or TIFF file. The system only is sending out the PDF or the attachment, all right, PDF or TIFF. Doesn't send anything you type in the body of the email or in the subject line. Again, use that support page link and look up faxing for the complete details. Auto attendance is a plan-specific feature or add-on. This allows you to create additional menus. You would just click on Add Attendant, give it a name, give it an extension number, and click on Create Attendant. By default, they start off as a standalone attendant, meaning they have their own separate routing. You can click on the toggle here to make that available under your main menu, right, under your virtual receptionist. Auto attendants can have their own phone numbers, which if you left it as unavailable in main menu means this is a separate routing. And then you have a little wrench icon here under settings. The open hours, after hours, and holidays, this matches what you set up under your main number, but they're all going to a virtual receptionist. So you would set up a greeting, menu options, etc., and then save and save changes. Devices shows your devices on the account. Oops. Red means it's unregistered, so calls aren't going to them. Green means it's registered, so we can. You can add devices directly to this page if you wish, but again, we recommend adding directly to the user. One thing to note is under the wrench icon here, for your VoIP phones especially, under advanced, you have the emergency caller ID. So any phone number, you can set up an address and then assign that phone number and address to a specific VoIP phone for the purposes of 911 only, right? So if an emergency comes up and they dial 911 from their VoIP phone, the correct address is sent to emergency services. Greetings tab shows all your media files on the account. Up here at the top, you can click Add to upload a new file. You have the name of the file. The source is TTS, which is text-to-speech, which means it came from your virtual receptionist or auto attendant. Upload means you uploaded the file. Recording means it was recorded over the phone. You have this little play icon here. This will play back the greeting directly in your browser. You can also download the file. I recommend this for your default main greeting, so you have a backup copy. Wrench icon, you can click Edit, so you can change the file name to something that's easier for you to recognize, or you can delete it if you know you no longer need it. Numbers, this takes you to your numbers in use. This shows you where you assign the numbers. Little gear icon where you can update the caller ID or E911 address. Spare numbers are numbers you're not currently using. If you wish to remove a number from the account completely, click on the little box in front. Then you have the option to delete. Click on delete numbers. And now it's gone from my system. Buying numbers just adds more spare numbers. Porting a number is moving a phone number from one carrier to us. So from AT&T to VirtualPBX, you can follow the on-screen instructions. Also, you can use that support page link and do a search for porting. Voicemail boxes shows your voicemail boxes on the account. Anything that has anything in the user here means it was created when the user was created. You can create your own voicemail boxes here, like a general voicemail box. Give it a name, voicemail box number, and PIN number. Click on create voicemail box number, or voicemail box, excuse me, and then click on the wrench icon. The basic information, voicemail box number, PIN number, that's what you use to access the voicemail box over the phone. One thing to know, the voicemail box number is not the same as an extension number, so entering the 3333 will not get me to the support voicemail box from my virtual receptionist. I would need to create a menu option for it to get there. Under advanced greeting media, you can upload MP3 or WAV file to be the voicemail box greeting. And just click upload, up arrow icon. The temporary file is that out of office or vacation message. So if you have something selected here and in media, only the temporary plays. The media file will not play again until you set temporary back to none. Recipients, your user voicemail boxes have a built-in recipient, right? The email address used for login. But you can, to any voicemail box, you can come here, click add new recipient, and keep and enter an email address. Keep clicking add until you're done, and then save changes. And then options, once you have a media file in place in recipients, you can click on already set up. Down here, you can confirm that we're sending or attaching the MP3 file. If you have a voicemail box that you don't want to get full, then you can also delete after notification. So after we send out that voicemail email, then the system deletes the voicemail message from the box so it doesn't get full. Virtual Text Forward is an add-on. This will let a phone number receive inbound text messages and forward them on. Virtual extensions is a plan-specific feature. This allows you to create additional extension numbers without having to add full users. These virtual extensions can only have one device. They can't be parts of a group, for instance, because they're not a user. Call logs shows your call history on the account. You have today, this week, this month, and custom. Custom lets you go back up to a year. And then you would click filter. A green arrow to the right is a call coming into the system. And you click on it here and you can see where the call was being offered to. Right. Yellow arrow to the left is an outbound call. So call an outbound call from one of your users. Little fire extinguisher icon here will report the call, which means it creates an email for you, pre-addressed to support@virtualpbx.com. And you're just going to want to type in the context of why you're sending it in. You can download any of these tabs. So if you're good with spreadsheets, you can get some information from there. Feature codes are ways for your VoIP phone users to access Dash features directly from their VoIP phones. They're listed here in the support pages. You can do a search for feature codes or the phone command cheat sheet. That's pretty much the dashboard. A call center is a plan-specific feature. It's also part of our call center product. These are ACD queues. There should be a link for the ACD QUEUES Pro demo. Dynamic Call ID. This is an add-on feature or plan-specific feature. This allows you to create rules to change your outbound call ID for your VoIP phones to be one of the other phone numbers on your account. Faxes is your fax manager. This lets you get to any fax box on the account to see your inbound or outbound faxes. Reports is the advanced reporting feature. In the show notes, there should be advanced reporting demo. This allows you to create your own reports. Voicemails is your voicemail manager. So as an admin, you can get to any voicemail box on the account. So if you're getting told that a voicemail box is full, you can come here and check it and see the voicemail messages. Integration AWS is a plan-specific feature. This allows you to link your Dash account to an Amazon Web Services account. Messaging is for the various text or SMS message options. Blacklists, this allows you to create a list of phone numbers that you're blocking from reaching your staff. You would just click edit blacklists and either add a list or edit and then add phone numbers to the relevant list. Call recording, this shows your this account has AWS enabled, so this shows my AWS interface. And then I can see my call recordings for the dates selected. If you're not using AWS, then you would instead open a new tab, go to recordings.virtualpbx.com, and use your Dash login information to log in there and see your call recordings. Number manager just takes you back to your spare number page. User portal, every user has access to their own user portal. It starts off on their voicemail tab, So their messages would show up here. The play icon is over here on the far right, as well as a download icon. There'll be a little box here at the front where you can put a check mark, and then you can change the status of the message. Call history would show your individual call history. The fax tab only works for users that have their own fax box, but they would see their fax history. Contact list is everything on the Dash account, so used for transferring feature codes. Conference tab is for users that you've enabled the conference feature on. This is where they would adjust their conference PIN numbers. And then settings and devices, right here is where your users would enable call forwarding on their own. Put a check mark, put +1 area code and phone number, no spaces, dashes, or parentheses, and click save. So now I'm call forwarding. I uncheck and then hit save, and now I'm not. Webhooks is a plan-specific feature. It's some level of programming. This links Dash to other software. In the show notes, there should be a link for the introduction to Zapier webinar. You can also go in the support pages. There's also developer.virtualpbx.com, which has sample code of what we've done to link Dash to other software. And then SMS registration. This is what you would need to go through if you want to make use of the business text feature. This first page is informational. There's a link here at the bottom to our support page about this topic. The Start Registration tab is where you go to start your registration. And then the registration status shows you your complete or where you are in that process. And that is everything. I thank you for your time today. I do apologize that it ran a little long, but we'll be back next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time.